Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Yoakley here, and we've got a special guest. My next guest is a guy that needs no introduction, but ladies and gentlemen, he is a household name in the boxing community, certainly in here in the Youngstown area, but across the nation, across the world, as he was once a world champion. Now he's a world champion friend to yours truly, and of course to YSN. And he's got a big event coming up here in a couple weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, this time we bring in Kelly Ghost Pavlik. What's up, Kel?
What's up? Hey, I again appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come on and do some of the promotion for this fight. It's a big fight, It's a fundraiser for my charitable organization that right now is moving, pretty strong. It's rolling ahead. We're picking up steam. Everything's starting to kind of fall in place with it, but there's still a lot of work to do, and so this fight show, first of all, is a fundraiser to kind of help, with some of the stuff for the kids. But not only that, a lot of these young athletes are out there working every day training, so it gives them a chance to go out and showcase, their talent to the people, and all that hard work, pays off for them at the end, where they can show it to everybody and people see what they've been working on.
So this is the Holiday Brawl. It's going to be on November 30th. That's a Saturday at the Maronite Center. Tell us about this event. Who's going to be on the card and why it's so important to get out there.
Well, it's hard to tell you exactly who's going to be on the card because of the fact that amateur boxing, we may match make 20 fights and end up with, 12 to 11 fights, the night of. But we are looking to put Zion Hensley on. Actually, she will be on. Her opponent is coming in. She will be fighting a girl out of Texas who's ranked number, I think, 2 or 3 in the country. I got a kid, Marty Stankiewicz, from Boardman High School. He'll be fighting on that. He just graduated last year. And then I got, they call him Mo Buckets, Darius Harshaw. He's fighting on the card. So there's just a lot of local talent, and we got a lot of talent coming in from Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Akron. So it'll be a great night of fights.
You mentioned that this is going to be kind of a fundraiser for your nonprofit. Can you tell people that don't know about your nonprofit, when that started and why you started it in the first place?
Yeah, so the nonprofit I started now going on probably 6 years, when I started it. And we even started it before that, but it was just hard to kind of get it off the ground. Now that we're moving, it started off small. Started off as get the boxers in there and athletes and train them and hopefully eventually be able to get, counseling, tutoring. And now after moving, and teaming up with certain schools and teaming up with, like I got Lisbon probation or juvenile court system, working with Warren court systems for juvenile, and picked up Lisbon ATG wrestling. So it's moving, and it's to get the kids in there from, 4th through 12th grade, 10 to 18, free to them, so that way they could get the strength and conditioning or whatever they need. Where you want to target underprivileged, at-risk kids, but there's some kids out there that maybe they may do a little better than underprivileged. So how do you tell them no, you can't come into the program and get all these services? So it's really moving though, and that's what the Kelly Pavlik charitable organization is. Is to get kids off the streets, get kids active after school, health and wellness. What else? Mental health awareness. If there's issues going on, a place for kids to be able to come if they're not eating after school and have a meal before they work out or box or before they do their homework or get the tutoring that they need or counseling. So there's just so much involved in it. It's again, I think this is going to be very big for the community and Tri-County area.
Naturally, you and I talk all the time about kind of what you're doing and why you're doing it, because when you're growing up, there wasn't many resources available to you. You guys had the gym, that was it, basically. And you had to basically devote your entire life to the sport of boxing in order to achieve the things that you achieved. Why is it so important for you, number one, to be that resource now for these youth, whether they're they need help or whether they're just looking to advance their career or get to be a better athlete? And then two, why is it important for you to continue to be that resource when you could be doing a lot of things right now, but you're continuously giving back to the valley?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, first of all, I was actually talking with my wife about this a couple months ago when it was getting moving. I was like, is it selfish for me to really want the best program out there for these young guys and these high school kids? And, I want the best athlete for the strength conditioning. I want to get them in best shape, best condition. I want a boxer that's winning national tournaments and hopefully one day goes on to win, a world title. The success stories, you know what I mean? Go out. I want the kid that's been struggling in school, to be able to go out and say, last year he made honor roll, twice out of the four report card periods. I want the kid that's been in the juvenile courts, to come and be able to say, you know what, I haven't been in trouble in 2 years. It's huge. And the better I could do, I always push. And she's like, no, my wife goes, if our kid was going into a program, that's what I want. That's the program I want them to go into. Um, so I want to see the success stories. Like, yeah, you're right. There's a lot I could be doing, and I still do. Don't get me wrong. I have other projects going too, but this is the big one. I want to see the success stories come from this. I do. I want the D1. I want the kid going to D1 college getting recruited. I want the next world champion boxer. I want the next kid that um, ends up paying attention in school and getting very good grades and stays out of trouble and goes on to be a lawyer, attorney, or whatever it may be, work in sports medicine. Who knows? And that's a goal of mine. And the goal of mine, if I push that on them and get this all going and be able to put uh, these services and different things in place to be able to help these kids, that's what it is right now. So my dad the other day goes, Kelly's like, damn, you're retired. You need to slow down. You're going too fast. And I said, it's, I'm knee deep in this project. It's I want to see it through. I want to make sure that this is, the best programs for these kids in the Tri-County area and, nationally. So it keeps me busy. And being a retired, boxer, I'm still involved with the sport. I'm still training fighters, but, strength conditioning was another passion of mine. I love it. I think it's the most important thing in all of sports.
So when you look at some of the box, some of I guess your Padawans, so to speak, that you have right now, one of them stands out. One of them has been on the show. We've worked with before. Zion Hensley, you mentioned her earlier. The level of trajectory this young lady is on is to the moon. I mean, she is cryptocurrency right now, up
Yeah.
and to the right. So talk to me about what you see in Z and why everybody should kind of get on board and recognize the talent once again coming from the Youngstown area.
Well, I'm very real when it comes to boxing. So on that, I'm going to say, DJ, and it's in her best interest. We got to pump the brakes just a tad bit on that. Okay.
Gotcha.
She's 14. She's getting ready now to make the transition to the, older girls, 16, 17, 18, the adult women. And it's different. It's a different ball game when you start getting into the open division of an adults, whether it's male. We definitely see it with the males. Like the transition from junior Olympics to open division it's really a big difference. But with that being said, yeah, the work ethic that Zion puts in, how hard she trains, her natural ability. I mean, from you see in track, like I do, and I want to take a lot of the, you know, what do you responsibility for it. I want to say, oh yeah, I did the strength conditioning with her, or I do the boxing training, but a lot of it is just natural ability. Her track and field, she's can run, she can scoot. She's putting times up that are as good as the seniors when she was in 8th grade. Her boxing, yeah, she's moving. She's another level, and not only that, she trains. She works out hard. She don't take, she very rarely takes breaks, and I got to kind of like slow her down and pull her back a little bit. Just a phenomenal fighter. Yeah. So we're getting ready now. We're starting to kind of make that transition over into the open division and starting to fight the older girls. So there's a lot of things that we're working on. We got to switch up the style a little bit. Some of the things she's been doing for the last couple of years. A lot of people are starting to time and figure out. So we got to kind of give a little bit of a different look. But other than that, yeah, she's definitely exciting to fight. I mean, she can hit. She's fast. She could throw big hooks. So it'll be this should be a good fight on the 30th.
And actually, as much and as good as she is in the ring, on the track and field, she's that good of a character, young lady, in the classroom and in the community. So I think that's what I'm most proud of about Z. We are talking to Kelly Pavlik about the holiday brawl in the Marinite Center, Saturday, November 30th. Coming quick, man. Doors open at 6 o'clock, start at 7 p.m. General admission, $25. Tables of 8 for $400. And for tickets, you can call or text 330-565-8665. Kelly, for people who don't or have never been to a fight like this or to an event like this, what are the expectations that they should come in expecting?
Yeah, I want them to come have a good time. Look, there's adult beverages, there's food, there's we're gonna have food there. The fights are fun and entertaining. People, sometimes if you get a table or whether it's general admission, people walk around, they mingle. If you've never seen it, just the atmosphere, it's fun. These kids are going out there. Little brutal to a certain extent, but not like a pro fight. You're not going to see blood and guts everywhere, or brutal beatings. It's very safe. The USA Boxing is with the USA Boxing protocols is very strict, and they keep the safety first for the kids. But it's just a fun time. People come out, they get the table, for $400. It turns out it's $50 a person, to have your own table, sit there pretty much ringside and enjoy the fights. It's just a fun night. It really is. I like to have 12 fights at most because, after a period of time from 7 o'clock to 9:30, you get a little antsy sitting there. There's only so much boxing people can watch. And I find that the 12, between 10 and 12 fights is plenty. And it's just a great time. Anybody that goes to these fights, whether it's my show or somebody else, one of the other trainers from Youngstown, they always have a blast and they always have a good time at them.
All right, I can't let you go without asking you your professional opinion on what's going to happen tonight. Paul Tyson fight. I mean, I'm sure you've been asked a million times about it. I mean, there's a lot of people that are talking about this fight. Obviously, big for boxing, big for the sport. Hopefully, garner some attention, get some more kids out there with gloves on. What do you like about this fight? What don't you like about this fight?
I don't like anything about the fight. I'm the one that usually defends Jake Paul to a certain extent. Like, a lot of people are like, well, he shouldn't be making that amount of money or he shouldn't be making this. And I say, hey, he's the one putting the butts in the seat. Like if he's able to put that many people in there, he deserves the money. Look, Jake Paul is not a good fighter. He's when I tell you I got two amateurs right now around his weight at my gym that would beat Jake Paul. He does work out. He does take boxing somewhat serious, but he has fought in old, fat, retired MMA guys. And MMA fighters are not good boxers. He's fought NBA retired guys. He fought one legitimate boxer who was horrible, Tommy Ferry, and he got beat. With that being said, he is 25. He's in very good shape. Mike Tyson is 60 years old, going on 60. Mike Tyson lost his last 3 or 4 fights 25 years ago, and now has smoked weed and sat around, and he's 60 years old. I just can't see how anyone, could even really want to see this fight. But part of me is like, I'm going to watch it anyways. Jake Paul, by all means, should beat up Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is 60 years old. But, Mike Tyson still got that power and still could change a fight with one punch. So I still don't know. I guess, like, if Mike Tyson catches him, he can knock him out. Obviously, power is the last thing to go. But Jake Paul should win. I mean, you're a 26, 27-year-old prime fighter. You know, you're fighting a man that owned a marijuana farm for the last 5 years and has done nothing besides podcast, and he's 60 years old. So I don't know. It should be interesting. Anything can happen, I guess.
I mean, we all know money talks, right? So, is there potential down the road if there's enough money for the Netflix deal or a pay per view that we could see Paul versus Pavlik or Tyson versus Pavlik?
So I'm going to be dead honest with you. We already had negotiations about 3 years ago. I remember it like yesterday. I was actually on vacation with the family in Ocean City, and my agent, who I didn't talk to for like 10 years at the time, he was, you know, he called me and he's like, "Hey, Cal, I got an opportunity for you to help me manage 2 prospects." And I was like, "Oh, wow, that sounds good. Yeah, blah, 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 blah." I get off the phone with him and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going, he's full of crap. Cameron Duncan don't need me to help him manage people. He's like one of the greatest managers in boxing. So I knew something else had to be coming. So he called me back the next day and he goes, I've been sitting down with the Showtime executives with Showtime Network, and we're thinking about, you know, a possibility of you fighting Jake Paul in Cleveland, because you're both Ohio guys, on Showtime. And at that time, I didn't work out. I ain't ran a mile since I retired. I haven't even looked at a treadmill like but 4 times, you know. And I go, I don't know, Cameron. I go, I got to get in shape, man. I would have to get in shape. I go, can I beat Jake Paul right now? Yeah. I said, I'm fat and out of shape. I go, I can still whip his butt. I said, let me think about it. So he gave me 2 days, and then I called him back. And when I called him back, he goes, they didn't take the fight, Kel. They turned it down. And I think that's when he went on to fight Ben Askren. So he's not going to fight me. He won't fight somebody was a legitimate boxer. You know, I'm still only in my early 40s. You know, he's not going to take a chance fighting me. He knows better.
Would you take it if he extended the invitation?
Oh, probably, yeah. I just that easy. He's horrible. That's what frustrates me. And these young kids that don't really know boxing at all, they don't know the difference between a left hook and a fishing hook. And they'll go, I think Jake Paul is the best fighter. I don't think you can beat Jake Paul. You know, I think you're talking sideways right now, and that makes me so mad. You know, but hey, it's interesting. I just don't know how much money would be there. People, listen, there's $10 million ain't floating around like people think on these fights. So now Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, I think this one definitely could hit the numbers. You know, you're talking about a lot of money at that point, but for the most part, a lot of them fights with like Ben Askren and the basketball players, them numbers weren't super high. So
I'm excited. I know there's a lot of people watching tonight, and certainly we appreciate you sitting down with us and talking about this upcoming event. You have the Holiday Brawl. Again, November 30th. It's a Saturday. Doors open at 6 p.m. Fights start at 7 p.m. We're hoping for 12 fights on the card. Kelly, thank you so much, as always.
hey, thank you. I do appreciate it, DJ. And yeah, maybe if you get a chance, if you ain't busy, stop out. But I know you're on the go. So
Hey, man, I'm looking to buy a table right now. I just got to fill it up.
all right, we got you.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yep, I'll talk with you.